today is also the appearance day of Sri Radha-Ramana. It is very moving history. Perhaps you know that after staying in Puri for some time, short time, on the pretext of searching out his brother Vishwarup, who had taken sannyas some years before, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set off on a tour of South India. His main intention was to seek out Roy Ramananda, because he knew, I have come to this world to fulfill my 3 desires, but without the Braj Rasik Vaishnav Sangha, I cannot fulfill those desires. So Srila Gurudev used to say that Mahaprabhu, he was Trinadapi Sunichena, more humble than a blade of grass. He had lobha, he had greed for Raganuga Bhakti. He also took sannyas. He had taken Diksha from a very high class of Diksha Guru, Sri Ishwar Puripad. But still, having done all of these things, he had still not attained his perfection. Why? Because he needed to find the Sajataya Shristiddhe Sadhu Sangha Swato Bare, a Braj Rasik Vaishnav who was completely immersed in the very mood that he was himself searching for, that he wanted to realize. So, Lalita Sakhi Guna Rameta Vishake, Brishobhanu Dadi Navasashileke, Lalita Sakhi Guna Rameta Vishake. What does it mean? Lalita Sakhi here means Radhika. The friend of Lalita, Guna, her qualities, Rameta Vishake, are reflected in Vishaka Sakhi. Vishaka Sakhi is born on the same day, at the exact same second as Srimati Radhika. She's a Madhya Naika, like Radhika. See, Lalita Sakhi, she's a Pragalbha Naika, very bold. But other types of Naikas, they're very innocent and gullible. But in the middle is the Madhya Naika. So that is the mood of Vishaka Sakhi. Her mood is just like Radhika's mood. So because Krishna in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to experience Radhika's mood, so he was searching out Ramananda Rai, because Sri Ramananda Rai is the incarnation of Vishaka Sakhi. So he left, and as he was traveling through South India, he came to Srirangam. And there, after dancing in ecstasy before Lord Ranganath in Srirangam, one Brahmin was very attracted to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name was Venkata. And he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh please stay, accept my invitation to stay in my home. Now Chaturmasya is coming, 4 months, where sannyasis, they stay in one place, they don't travel. So you can spend that time in my home. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent the 4 months of Chaturmasya in the home of Venkata. At that time, Venkata, he had a son who at that time was a small boy. And he became very close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He used to serve him when Mahaprabhu went to take bath in the Kaveri river. Then that boy's name was Gopal. He used to carry Mahaprabhu's kamandalu. He used to carry fresh cloth for Mahaprabhu to change into after bathing. And Mahaprabhu was full of affection for him and told him so many siddhantas, told him so many pastimes of Sri Krishna. And when Mahaprabhu was leaving, then that Gopal, he was crying, please take me with you. But Mahaprabhu told him, no, you should stay here in Srirangam and serve your parents, because they are Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu would never give the instruction to serve ordinary material parents. Guru nasat swajano nasasya. No one can be called a guru, no one can be called a family member, no one can be called a father, no one can be called a mother, no one can be called a worshipful devata, no one can be called a husband if they cannot deliver their dependence. So only those persons who are Vaishnavas, they can really be a husband or wife or father or mother or or have any, otherwise we have no relation with those living entities who are bahimukh, who are averse to Krishna Bhakti. That is the Mayik Sambandha, illusory relationship. But our relationship with Vaishnavas is forever. So Mahaprabhu told, you should stay, serve your father and mother, Venkata until he passes away, and then you should go to Vrindavan and be there. So then Mahaprabhu left, and Gopal, he did not see Mahaprabhu again directly in his life. But he did see him. After some time, his parents passed away, and that Gopal, he came to Vrindavan and he stayed there under the guidance of Rupa and Sanatan. And he became known as the great Acharya, Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So Srila Gurudev said that Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he's the main stamba, the main pillar supporting the whole Gaudiya Sampradaya. Why is that? Because while he was there in South India, he was not lazy, he was studying so much, especially under the guidance of his guru, who was also his father's brother, his uncle, that is Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati. This is a great family. His uncle is Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. So he had compiled many references from Shastra, and one collection of references was about Siddhanta, and that was given to Srila Jiva Goswami, and he edited them, and they were published as the Satsandarbhas. So he is the root of so much of the Tattva Siddhanta in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, to protect the Gaudiya Sampradaya. And his other notes were taken by Srila Sanatana Goswami, and he became Hari Bhakti Vilas, which is all the achar, that is the sadachar, proper behavior for Vaishnavas. So Vaishnavas need two things, achar and vichar, proper behavior and proper understanding philosophy. And Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami has provided the foundation for all our main scriptures on achar and vichar both. So, when Gopal Bhatta Goswami was staying in Vrindavan, he was doing bhajan on the bank of the Jamuna there. And one day, a Vaishnava came from Jagannath Puri, and he met with Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis. He said, Mahaprabhu has sent me, and he has sent me with these gifts for Gopal Bhatta Goswami. One was a wooden seat, a gadi, and the other was the saffron cloth, Mahaprabhu's saffron cloth, and the door coping. So, when the Goswamis saw that Mahaprabhu had sent these things, because Mahaprabhu is none different from his paraphernalia, it was if Mahaprabhu himself had come. And putting them on a palanquin and carrying them through Vrindavan, they had a big kirtan. And with the big kirtan, they slowly arrived to the place where Gopal Bhatta Goswami was alone and doing bhajan. And he saw them coming, this Sankirtan party of his senior Vaishnavas, and he gave Dandavat Pranam. So then Rupa and Sanatan told him, oh, Mahaprabhu has sent these things for you. And he took the gadi and he put it on his head. He took the saffron cloth and he touched it to his head. But Rupan San said, no. You have to sit on the gadi and you have to wear the cloth. Otherwise, he wouldn't. For him, they are worshipable. So then, but on the order of Rupa and Sanatan, he sat on the gadi and he wore the cloth. This is, at that time, everyone was very ecstatic, but they were also feeling great distress of separation from Mahaprabhu. Why? Because a person distributes his belongings to his loved ones when? Yes. When he's about to leave. So it was a very bittersweet celebration. So then, when shortly afterwards the news came that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had discovered his apricot lila. He became unmanifest from the world. At that time in Vrindavan, all devotees, they felt that they would die. Alas, alas. Sanatana Goswami was fainting, Rupa Goswami was fainting, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, they're all fainting. Then, when Gopal Bhatta Goswami was unconscious, though he had not seen Mahaprabhu since his childhood, that time when he was fainting, unconscious in separation at the disappearance of Mahaprabhu, he had the darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu said to him, I am always with you. You and Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, you are my eternal associates. Sanatana Goswami will serve Madan Mohan. Rupa Goswami Pad will serve Sri Govinda Dev. And you, I want you to go to the Himalayas, to the Gandaki river, and there you will find 12 Shalagram Shilas. The first of these Shalagram Shilas will be a Damodar Shila, and you should know that I am always residing in that Damodar Shila. And by worshipping that Damodar Shila, then you will be worshipping me. So then, see, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he came out from his internal consciousness and opened his eyes. And then he met with Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and they're all weeping. And when they saw each other, they could understand that they had all had the same vision of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then, see, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he set out for the Himalayas to the Kaligandaki river. So when he arrived there, on the first day, he fasted and chanted the holy names. Then the next day, he took a bath and he was searching. Where is Mahaprabhu? Where is Mahaprabhu? Could not find him. On the third day, he was again looking in the Kaligandaki river and crying, oh, when will I see you again? Oh Gaura Hari, oh Sachinandan, where are you, where are you? And he got into the river and he took some water from the river and he was offering arghya to the sun. And just as he cupped his hands like this, then one Shila came into his hands. And he looked and it had the marks. It was a Damodar Shila. He was so ecstatic. He just took that Damodar Shila and he decided, okay, now he was chanting, Gaura Krishna, Gaura Krishna, Gaura Krishna. And he was about to set off to Vrindavan. So he thought, oh, before I set off, I should take some water with me. So he took his kamandalu and he dipped it in the water. You see, he was so ecstatic once he found Gaura Krishna in the form of the Shalagram Shila that he was going, and he forgot that Mahaprabhu had told him to collect 12 Shilas. But anyway, by a trick, Mahaprabhu reminded him, oh, you'll need some water for the journey. So when he dipped his kamandalu into the water, there was a cluttering sound. And at once it became filled with the 11 other Shilas appeared in his kamandalu. So then he set off and he came back to Vrindavan. So when he came back to Vrindavan, he was seeing what beautiful festivals were going on at the Madan Mohan temple, beautiful festivals in Govindaji temple, how the deities were dressed so beautifully, also in the Gopinath temple. And then he was thinking, oh, but I have Shalagram Shilas. It's not possible to decorate them with ornaments. And on Nishinga Chaturdasi, that was yesterday, right? He celebrated Nishinga Chaturdasi, and on that day, a very rich merchant came to him and gave him so many clothes and ornaments. And he was thinking, oh, what do I do with these? I can't put them on my Shalagram Shila. It will be like putting the curry on a brinjal. You know, when you put the curry on the brinjal, on the eggplant, it just runs off. So I won't be able to decorate them very well. But he had a desire. He said, what will I do with these ornaments? So then the whole night, he was crying and thinking, how can I serve? And then he fell asleep. So then in his dream, he saw Krishna. And see, Krishna said, oh, don't be in anxiety. All your seva abhilas, all your desires for service, they will become true. So there's one, perhaps you know, there's a Radha-Ramana temple, but you come out of the Radha-Ramana temple and you make a right. There's a pipal tree there. So that pipal tree is the place where, see, Gopal Bhatta Goswami used to do his bhajan, and at night he would put the 12 Shalagram Shilas in a bag and he would hang them from the branch of that pipal tree. So after seeing Krishna in the dream, he woke up and he stood up and he went to his bag of Shalagram Shilas and he opened the bag and there was Radha-Ramana Lal Ki Jai. He saw that there were 11 Shilas under Radha-Ramana Lal, and he noticed that the same marking that was on that Damodar Shila, it was also on the body of Radha-Ramana Lal. So he could understand that the Shalagram Shila, Damodar Shila, had made the Swayambhu, Swayam Prakash, self-manifest, beautiful deity of Radha-Raman. So Radha-Raman is not carved. You know, like Radha Damodar is carved. Swapna Deshi Damodar Sri Rupa Radha Damodare Swahasta Niman Kare Dilishi Jeveri. It is said that the Radha Damodar in Vrindavan, they appeared in the dream of Rupa Goswami. And then when he woke up, he personally carved the deities with his own hands and gave them to Jiva Goswami. But Radha-Raman, he is self-manifest from Shalagram Shila. And just because Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he was very attracted by the beauty of Madan Mohan, Govinda and Gopinath. But he wanted to serve them all in one form. So Radha-Raman is considered to be the combined form of Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda and Radha Gopinath. That means, it is said that his lotus feet are like Madan Mohan. His face is like Govindaji and his chest is like Gopinath. But really all these deities, they're all Krishna. So it has a special meaning. Approaching the lotus feet means Sambandha Gyan. First we have to accept our Nitya Sambandha. Jivera Swarupai Krishna Nitya Das. So service to the lotus feet is indicative of Das. Then Abhideya. As one practices the Abhideya, his greed is growing more and more and more. His attachment is growing more and more. He's becoming completely enchanted. So that is the smiling face of Govinda Dev. And then the Prayojan. The chest of Gopinath is very, very dear to Braja Gopis. It is their Lila Bhumi, is their playing place. Radhika is the Krishna Vaksha Vilasini, always playing upon the chest of Sri Krishna. So, when the other Goswamis, the next day they came and they took darshan, then they said, oh, he will be called Radha-Raman. So Radha-Raman, Raman means lover. That Krishna who is the lover of Radhika, but also because Mahaprabhu said, by serving this Shila, you will be serving me. So Radha-Raman means the combined swarup of Radha and Raman. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the combination of Radha and Krishna both. So, why did Sri Radha-Raman appear beneath that pipal tree? Perhaps you know, when the Rasa Leela was going on, at that time, Actually, the Rasa Leela took place because previously, on another day, before this, Radharani had said to Krishna, Yat pratitam sakutakena purana eva shaknoti kim kulajad badalakshakoti alingitum priyatamam shanamekamanvi chaste didrikshatam idam mamapura eva. Oh Krishna, a very curious desire has appeared in my heart. Can you fulfill it? Krishna said, surely. What do you want? Srimati Radhika said, I want to see you embracing millions and millions of gopis at the same time. This desire has come. So then, Krishna, he thought, how will it be possible? But anyway, it became possible by Radhika's desire. Yogamaya upasrita. Krishna took shelter of Yogamaya and the Rasa Leela took place. So don't think that during the Rasa Leela, when Radhika saw Krishna dancing with all the gopis, she said, why is he dancing with all the gopis? So she became upset and she left. That is not the reason. The Rasa Leela is taking place because Radhika herself personally requested Krishna to fulfill her desire. She wanted to please Krishna by making Krishna experience the ecstasy of dancing and embracing millions of gopis simultaneously. So what was the reason? Because each gopi, she was thinking, oh, Krishna's only dancing with me. So then Garva came. Some Sobhagamad. So Sobhagamada means the intoxication that comes due to one's own good fortune. And they had some man also. They became somewhat contrary, and that man was being nourished by their pride. And it will not develop into rag and anurag and other stages of prem, because the man is being nourished by garva. The sthayi bhav of man, the contrary, playful, contrary mood is being nourished by the sanchari bhav of garva. So the only way to stop that, and that the man will go to higher and higher levels of love, is the cause of the pride has to be removed. And the cause of the pride is Krishna. The reason why Radhika wanted to take Krishna away from the Rasa Leela is because when the Garv is there and the Sobhagamat, then you become so joyful that you don't notice what others are doing. So how can you have a circle dance with everyone dancing together in a circle if no one is noticing what the others are doing? To have a circle dance, there has to be a certain awareness of where everyone is, so they can coordinate the beautiful dancing for Krishna's pleasure. So though Radhika wanted Krishna to dance with all the gopis, because it had turned into like an individual festival here, there, and here, there, it wasn't integrated. And then how can Krishna experience the joy of the Rasa Leela, the circle dance with many heroines? So everything that Radhika does is for Krishna's happiness. And also, her desire to leave the Rasa Leela at that time, it was also for Krishna's happiness. So Radhika, when she saw what was going on, oh, this is not the way I wanted it to be, to please Krishna. She frowned. And then Krishna knew she was about to leave. And he became afraid, and immediately all his forms disappeared, and he took Radhika by the hand and disappeared from the Rasa Leela. Taking Radhika alone, they went deep into the forests. And there, they enjoyed such beautiful pastimes together. Then afterwards, Krishna was thinking, oh, soon, the other gopis, they must be searching for us everywhere. And soon they may arrive in this place. So he told Radhika, oh, come, let's go further into the forest. It's very beautiful over there. And he was making excuses to get further and further away from the other gopis who might find them. Because Krishna was thinking, if the other gopis and also Sakis, they see me alone with the Radhika, then they'll put all the blame on Radhika. But if they arrive and I disappear, then Radhika will cry and they'll feel sympathy for her and they'll put all the blame on me. So when Krishna was trying to take Radhika away, then Radhika said, Tato gatva banuddisham dripta krishnama bravit na parayayam chalitum nayamam yatrati namaha. Radhika became very proud and she told Krishna, oh, I have no power, I have no strength, I cannot take another step. If you want to take me anywhere, you can carry me. Take me wherever you want. So then Krishna, he thought, she's become so submissive. This is not good. In Madhurya Rasa, especially in Parakya Rasa, one side should be the contrary and one side should be submissive. If you'll have two submissive sides, then all the rasa will be finished. It will be very flat. So Krishna was being very submissive. He decorated Radharani's hair beautifully. That's why he said, Dripta Keshavam Abha. Krishna is called Keshava. Keshav means Keshan Vayate iti Keshava, who decorates the hair with Radhika with flowers. So Krishna was in a very submissive mood. He decorated Radhika. Now Radhika became submissive. Oh, you can take me wherever you want. So Krishna said, no, this is not good. I'll have to do something to make her become contrary again. And I can hear other Braj Gopis are coming. And if they find us, they'll put all the blame on her. So if I'll disappear right now, then that's better. She'll become contrary. So my one problem is solved. And all the gopis, other gopis, they'll have sympathy for her. So her problem will be solved. All problems will be solved. This is why Krishna is called Vidagdha. He's Vidagdha Madhav. Very, very expert. Vidagdha means skillful, artistic, expert. When there's a situation with so many competing and contradictory circumstances, and there's just no way to resolve it, that person who is so smart, so intelligent, who in one activity resolves everything and harmonizes everything, is called Vidagdha. So only Sri Krishna is so brilliant. Rasa Leela Jyatesha Jaya Samyujate Nisham Hare Vidagdata Berya Radha Zaubhagyadundubihi. Sridhar Swami, in his commentary on the Rasa Leela, he said, how many instruments are playing in the Rasa Leela? How many types of instruments are playing in the Rasa Leela? Do you know? 2. Rasa Leela Jayatesha. Oh, glories to this Rasa Leela. Why? Because there is the sound of 2 instruments mixed together eternally in this Rasa Leela. One is a berry, the berry drum, and the other is the dundubi. Hare Vidagdata Berya Radha Saubhagya Dundubi. This Rasa Leela is the loud beating of the berry drum of Krishna's Vidagdata, his skill. And the dundubi drum, which is actually much louder, it's like a kettle drum. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah? The loud beating of the kettle drum of Radhika's Saubhagya, her good fortune. So, this is poetry. There's actually many types of instruments and millions of those different types of instruments. But this is poetry. What is the sound of this Rasa Leela? It is the beating of the drums of Krishna's artistic skill and Radhika's great fortune as being the most qualified and most beloved of Krishna out of all the millions of Brajagopis. So Krishna, he decided, when Radhika said, Naya mamyatate mana, take me wherever you want, then Sri Krishna, he suddenly disappeared. At that time, Radhika was crying, Ha nata ramana presta, kwasi kwasi mahabhuja, dasyaste kripanayame, sakkay dashaya sannidhim. Ha Nath, oh Krishna, you are my prananath, you are my life. Without you, I am dying. Then it was as if she heard Krishna's voice. So, if you are dying, then problem solved. When you die, then all the problems you have in this life, they're over. Radhika said, no, because if I die, you'll be very sad. And if you're sad, I cannot tolerate it. See, Krishna said, but if you are dead, then how you know whether I'm happy or sad or not? Radhika said, my heart is one with your heart. If you feel any pain, little pain, then I feel that pain like the biting of 1,000,000 scorpions. Much more than you, even. So Krishna said, yes, but it's too late now. You're about to leave. What can I do? Radha-Ramana. Now, this is where the name Radha-Ramana comes up. Radhika said, Ramana, Presta, you are my dearest beloved. You care for me so much, so you must come back at once. Kwasi, where are you? Mahabhuja, with your strong arms. Just as a person who is about to die, or even if they have died, if they get a touch of nectar, they come back to life. So your strong arms are like nectar to me. If you will return at once and embrace me, though I am about to die, I will come back to life. Then Krishna said, all right, but listen, I am a prince. I am the son of Nanda Maharaj. I am a very respectable person in society. Why did you tell me I should have to carry you around in the jungle? Then she said, Dasyaste kripanayame. Oh, Krishna. I am your maidservant. Dasyaste kripanayame. I am very wretched. I am your maidservant. But Sakke dasha sanidhim, because you were serving me, because you were decorating me, then the feeling came that you're my Sakka, you're my friend, and that's why I could speak to you in such an informal way and tell you to carry me. Krishna said, all right, then here I am, come to me. Sakke dasha sanidhim. I have so many tears in my eyes, I'm so blinded by separation. Where are you? I can't see you. And then saying this, Radharani, she fainted and fell to the ground. And as Radharani was unconscious, lying there, then the other Sakhis and other gopis, they came and they saw the intense separation of Srimati Radhika. And they realized something. What is that? That our separation from Krishna is like the light of a glowworm, a firefly. And the separation of Radhika is like a great inferno, blazing fire. And all had sympathy for Radhika. So, when you respect someone, what happens? If you respect a person who has great qualities, then their great qualities become transferred to you. This is why every day we do Guru Puja. By respecting Gurudev, worshipping Gurudev every day, gradually, all the spiritual qualities of Sri Guru, by his mercy, they become transferred to us. So now, the Prem of all the Braj Gopis was lifted to a higher level, and they were united. Just like, there are many different lakes and ponds here and there, but when there's torrential rain and there's a flood, and they all overflow, then they all become one. So before, in the Rasalila, all the gopis were in different groups, separate groups with their own interests. But due to the separation from Sri Krishna, it was like a flood of Prem, and they all became in one group. And they began to cry, Jayati te ditakam janmana braja. And afterwards Krishna came back, and now the Rasalila could take place, and it was integrated. It was one big Leela, with all dancing together in the group dance. So, now we come to the point that at that time when all the Sakhis and other gopis, they found Radhika lying unconscious. Radha-Ramana Presta. Then the form that was in the heart of Radhika that she was seeing in her unconscious state was Radha-Ramana. No one could see that form. But on this day, that form, Raman, from the heart of Radhika manifests before the eyes of the world. See Radha-Ramana Lala ki jai.